I feel like some kind of Christmas regalia is going to be in order for this video. The magic of editing, who knew? Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's that time of year again, it's getting close to Christmas, it's nearly December. If you're in a Christmas show, you're probably towards the end of rehearsals, going into Tech Week. It's a stressful time. I know. Christmas shows are a different beast to any other show. It's tiring, there are kids screaming in the audience, you're trying to get home for Christmas to spend it with your family and you're working out what trains you can get. So here is my Christmas show survival guide for all of you guys for whom this is your first Christmas show and you're a little bit overwhelmed. Enjoy. Years ago, I did do a separate video about digs in general, ironically when I was doing a Christmas show, so I'll link that up there, I think, and also in the description. Try and sort out your digs as soon as possible so you know where you're staying and you don't have that added stress, especially because you're going to be away from home during kind of the most wonderful time of the year. And you don't want that extra stress of, I don't actually know where I'm going to be sleeping during this contract. And secondly, make sure that it's comfortable. This is practical things like make sure it's heated. Oh, yeah, make sure it's heated and that it has a shower. But also make sure you take a few home comforts with you, whether that's your favorite teddy or your favorite mug, or if there's a blanket that just makes you feel all warm and fuzzy and homey. Take those things with you to give you some comfort as well. So, the show lurgy. It happens to the best of us, but especially in winter, there's a lot of germs going around and you're gonna be run down from the busy schedule of the Christmas show. And most Christmas shows don't have understudies necessarily, so you really don't want to get sick. First thing I would say, bearing in mind I'm not a doctor or a medical professional, get a flu jab if you can, especially if you're in one of the at-risk categories, like you have asthma for example, and you get the jab for free. Definitely get it. But even if you decide not to get the flu jab, just in general, look after yourselves. Make sure that you eat healthily, have lots of fruits and vegetables, and make sure you get enough sleep. Try and get at least 8 hours if you can. That can be hard, but try and get as much sleep as possible. Multiple show days. We love them. And there's so many of them on Christmas shows. Sometimes it's just a whole week of 2 show days. Sometimes there's some 3 show days thrown in there. On average, you're looking at a 12 show week at least with a Christmas show. That's a lot of performances that you're gonna have to get yourself through. So, firstly, most importantly, pace yourself. You don't have to give 100% in the 10 a.m. show. Try and find anything left, so you're giving like maybe 50% in the second show, and then by the time you get to the third show at 7:30, you are dead and broken. If you have to do a show that you think is under energy so that you can get to the third show and still give a show, that's more important. Pace yourself and check in on your energy levels and be honest with yourself about how much you can give and still do the rest of the day or the rest of the week. Secondly, like I said about getting enough sleep before on the general looking after yourself, sleep when you can as well. I'm a big advocate of naps in life when used appropriately. During a Christmas show, you're gonna need to nap. Maybe not a full-on like snoring, drool coming out of your mouth kind of nap, but at the very least, a lie down with your eyes shut for 10 minutes to recharge yourself kind of nap. Blankets, onesies are wonderful because they're comfortable and you can just curl yourself up in them, and also try and scout out the best napping spots. If you can't find good napping spots, or if there's a day when all of the napping spots are taken, this is where yoga mats come in handy. This is what I did last year. When the only place to nap was the floor, I'd lay my yoga mat out to give me a little bit of cushioning, and even though it didn't make the floor comfortable enough to fall asleep on, it did make it comfortable enough that I could lie with my eyes shut and get a bit of respite in between shows. Yoga mats, we love them. Now it's time to talk about children. Christmas shows, unless they're billed specifically as adult Christmas shows, are kind of by default family shows. Everyone from grandma to little baby Timmy is gonna be in that auditorium. The thing about children is they don't really know theatre etiquette, which is fine. They don't need to know theatre etiquette. They're children. We're not expecting them to sit quietly in the dark. But as an actor, you need to be prepared for that. Be prepared to deal with children crying at random bits, children screaming, children heckling for no reason, children shouting, "Ugh, gross," when the lead male and female characters kiss, children trying to climb up on the stage with their parents right there, and the parents aren't like, "No, Tabitha, get off the treads, actors go up and down those." No, they'll just leave them to climb up, and you have to be like, "No, child, get off the stage, please." Children dancing at the front of the stage during the curtain call, that's the cutest thing. That's lovely. Love little kids dancing in the curtain call. Yeah, I think those are the main ones that I've experienced. But yeah, kids doing things that normal theatre audiences wouldn't do. If that's the kind of stuff that distracts you, you're gonna have to suck it up, or tell your agent, or just decide for yourself that you won't do Christmas shows, because that happens. Also, school shows are a thing. A lot of Christmas shows will do school shows, usually as part of their previews, which means that in the audience, you might get a show where all of the kids are from the same school, about the same age. Performing to a school show of year 3s, so about 6, 7-year-olds, is gonna be completely different to performing to a school show full of kids in secondary school, like 13, 14-year-olds. Be aware of that, be aware of your audience, and feel the vibe in the room when you're on stage, so that you'll naturally adjust to that. If you perform in a way that's gonna go over the heads of younger kids, or you're gonna perform in a way that patronizes older kids, when those are the only people in your auditorium, that's not gonna be great, and you're not gonna enjoy the show as much. Whereas if you play with that and listen out to what they are enjoying and what they're not enjoying so much, and play up to what they are enjoying, then you're gonna have way more fun. Let's get on to traditions of Christmas shows, because that's fun. Secret Santa. We all love a Secret Santa, or some of us hate a Secret Santa, but love it or hate it, Secret Santa is a tradition that a lot of Christmas shows observe. If you say you want to be involved in the Secret Santa, and if you don't want to be involved, just say, "I don't want to be involved," that's fine. But if you say you want to be involved, do not be the person who doesn't buy a gift. Don't do it, because it's always really awkward and everyone feels bad for the person who hasn't received something from their Secret Santa. How I get around Secret Santas, because sometimes it can be difficult. I think about what just general gift would I appreciate if someone who literally didn't know me bought it for me. My personal one is a mug. I love tea. If someone bought me a mug, I'd be happy. That would be kind of my default last resort gift. And then obviously try and get something that's a bit more personal to them. See, if this didn't have anything to do with ukuleles on it, I'd still be like, "Mate, banging new mug for my tea." But it has ukuleles on it, so if a Secret Santa was like, "Oh, she started learning how to play ukulele this year," and they were like, ukulele mug, then I'd be like, "You thought about me." Another big Christmas show tradition is the company Christmas meal, which we love. So if you're the kind of person that likes budgeting and planning expenses in advance, just make sure you have in the back of your mind that that's going to be an expense that you probably won't want to miss out on, especially if you're the kind of person who's not going to be content with the glass of alcohol that comes with the set menu and whatever booze may or may not be provided by the company. If you're gonna want to get onto the hard stuff after the meal is over, then budget that in as well. But yeah, it's just really lovely, and everyone gets to dress up, and that's usually when the Secret Santas are given as well. Sometimes, not always, but sometimes. So enjoy the company Christmas meal. Okay, so we finally got to the big thing about Christmas shows, and that is Christmas Day itself, if you celebrate Christmas Day. Usually you have a show on Christmas Eve, you have Christmas Day off, and then you have a show on Boxing Day. It's really important to sort out your travel as soon as you know what your schedule is going to be. Make sure you know when the show on Christmas Eve is going to finish and what your call on Boxing Day is going to be. Bear in mind that trains don't often run on Boxing Day, so to get back on Boxing Day for your call, you'll either have to figure out whether you're driving yourself or if there's someone else who can drive you back if you're in a show away from home. In terms of getting back, the way that I've always managed to do it is that my parents have been very accommodating and bought Christmas to see me. Bought Christmas? They bought Christmas! That's what they did. They didn't buy Christmas. My parents are not that rich. But what they have done is they bought tickets to the Christmas show on Boxing Day so that they can drive me back for my call time on Boxing Day. They hang around for a bit until the theatre is open for patrons, and then they'll watch the show with me in it, obviously. And then when I finish the show, I'm like, thanks parents, have a safe drive back. And they're like, great. If you can't get back home, and I've been in that situation, my first Christmas show, which was also my first job, I couldn't get back for Christmas. If you're in that situation, find out if there's anyone else in the cast who's in that situation who can't get home for Christmas, or if there's anyone in the cast that has an open house policy, or see what your dig's landlord or landlady is doing for Christmas and see if they will accept you into their Christmas plans. Don't worry, you can still have a lovely, lovely time. So that is my Christmas show survival guide. I hope you found it useful. If you did, then please like and share this video with anyone who might find it useful. If you have any suggestions for videos you'd like me to cover, then feel free to leave them in the comments. Also, another wonderful thing about Christmas is for a lot of people, a Christmas show, be it just a general Christmas show or a pantomime, that's going to be their first experience of theatre. All of these little kids screaming in the auditorium, that's going to be their first experience of theatre, and that is so amazing. And you know, there are some theatres that have audiences that have been coming since they were little, and now they're in their 80s and they're like, we've seen the Christmas show here every single year and it's amazing, and it's beautiful. It's a wonderful time for theatre, Christmas. So if you're in a Christmas show this year, enjoy it. It's gonna be tiring as heck, but it's gonna be magical and wonderful, and have so much fun and have a lovely, lovely time and a lovely Christmas doing it, and changing young minds and bringing them the magic of live theatre, because we love it. I am going to stop waffling now, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye friends!